Hey, Mama, and welcome back to For Moms, a Safe Space. I'm your host, Simone, and I'm so glad you're here. Before we dive in, let's take a second to revisit our last episode. Juggling it all, being a full-time mom and working full-time. And that one, we got real about what it means to show up for work and your kids, day in and day out. Sometimes with barely a moment to breathe. We talked about the constant mental load, the guilt, the exhaustion, and the invisible expectation to do it all with a smile on your face. If you haven't heard it yet, I definitely recommend going back because so many people reached out to me to say that they felt seen, they felt heard. The episode resonated with them so much. And honestly, that's the goal here. That's the reason I created this podcast, so people could feel safe enough to express the things that they don't say out loud. Now, today's episode is one I know a lot of you have been waiting for. It's for the moms doing it alone, the ones holding it down without help, without backup, and without a co-parent who shows up. So whether they disappeared during your pregnancy, dropped off the radar after the baby came, or they're around but emotionally absent and unreliable, this is for you. I see you. You're not invisible here. This space is for you too. So what does absence really look like? Some people think of an absent co-parent as someone who just lives far away and may send a check once a month. But I'm talking about the kind of absence where they don't even call on your kid's birthday. Or they say that they're coming and then they never show up. Or the one who dips in and out. You know, they may show up a couple days or a couple weeks in a row and then disappear for a month. Or the one who plays victim. Oh, she's keeping my child away from me. All the while you're just protecting your child from more hurt from that person. Because you see the disappointment when you tell your child, oh, your dad's coming to get you this weekend, and then they don't show up. Some moms realize that early on and decide, you know what? No, if you're not going to be consistent, you're not going to come get my child. And it's not keeping the child away from the dad. It's just protecting the child because the dad is inconsistent. And that hurts. That hurts little people. When someone says that they're going to do something for them and they don't do it. I personally have made it a habit of mine to not tell my children what I'm going to do for them, just in case I can't come through on that. So I will literally wait until the last minute and say, hey, we're doing this, or hey, I got you this, because I don't want to see that disappointment. So if you're a mom who is doing that, it's okay. We understand. You are protecting your child, and don't let your absent co-parent make you feel like you're keeping your child away from them. It's not that at all. It's protection. So if your life is like this, I want you to hear this. It's not your fault. You didn't choose this. And even if you feel like you should have seen the signs, they had a choice and they chose not to show up. So let's be real. It's not just hard, it's heartbreaking. It's exhausting and it's lonely because you start to question everything. Why wasn't I enough for them to stay? Am I doing enough for my child? Why does this feel so unfair? And sometimes the silence of their absence is louder than the chaos in your house. You see, you're doing a million things and somehow still you feel like you're not doing enough. Sometimes moms break down after a school drop-off, right? And it's not that anything happened. It's just they've dropped their kids off. They said their goodbyes. You have a good day. And it's time for mom to head to work. But in that moment, she feels the weight of it all coming down on her. And that constant pretending to be okay for everyone else is hard. And so, yeah, you may sit in your car and cry for 5 minutes. You may hide in the bathroom and cry for 5 minutes, and that's okay. But sometimes the things that make it even worse is society, your friends, your family, those around you who will tell you, choose better next time. And it's like, what? You can meet someone and they can check off every single box. Looks, finances, stability, family, morals, values. They could check every single box off, right? And they could be the perfect person to have a baby with. But reality is, at any point in time, a person can choose to say, you know what, this isn't for me anymore. I don't want this anymore. And there's nothing that you can do about it. You could talk and you could try and you could sway. It's nothing you can do about it, because at the end of the day, the person, they can choose not to be there. And it's nothing that you did wrong. And it is wrong for society, family, friends, those around you to essentially judge you because of the person you chose to have a baby with. Because you cannot control another person's actions. You can't. Now, I have a few listener stories that I do want to share today. So the first one goes, being a single mom wasn't the plan. I never imagined on bedtime, birthdays, or doctor's appointments alone. But here I am, waking up every day, showing up for my child, and carrying the weight of two parents. There are nights I cry once they're asleep, not because I'm weak, but because I'm tired of always being the strong one. People will say, you're so strong, but sometimes I don't want to be strong. I just want to be supported. Still, I keep going because that little face looking up at me, they're my reason for everything. And you see, I love how she said, you're so strong, because that is something that society, family, and friends tend to say to single mothers. Oh, you're so strong. Oh, you're so strong. If you sat 10 mothers down in the room and asked every single one of them what they think about the phrase, you're so strong, I can guarantee you they're going to say something negative back to it, because they don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear you're so strong. You don't want to always have to be strong. When do you get to be soft? When do you get to relax? When do you get to allow that tension to finally leave your body? When does that happen? You're so strong is such a, for me, such an ick. That's what it is. It's an ick. I don't like it. Now I have another listener story. What hurts the most isn't that he left, it's that he stayed for his other kids. He has children that he shows up for. He posts them on social media like he's dad of the year. But my daughter, he acts like she doesn't even exist. And sometimes she asks about him. She's only 5, so she doesn't fully understand. She just wants to know why her daddy doesn't come around like other friends' dads do. And I don't even know what to say without breaking. I try so hard to give her everything, love, stability, joy. But there's this ache that comes from knowing someone chose to abandon her while fully parenting other children. I've stopped reaching out. I've stopped hoping, because I realize it's not my job to chase someone who never looked back. Now that one, I'm sure there are a lot of moms out there that can relate to that. You know, I can relate to that in the beginning years of my oldest son, because that was something that his dad did to me. As I explained before, him and I, we just did not get along. We could not co-parent successfully at all. And he did disappear. And he was a father to his other children. And I did have to see it on social media. And that does hurt. It does hurt when you see things like that. You see that this is the person you had a child with and they pretend like your child doesn't even exist. It's very hurtful. Now, I'm very grateful that we got ourselves together and are now in a relationship, and now my children have a 2-parent household. That's a beautiful thing, but I can relate to that mom seeing their children's father on social media gloating and like they're the father of the year, and you're like, okay, you're not even taking care of this child over here. Do people not know that this child exists? Like, what's going on here? I can relate to that. And I'm sure a lot of moms can relate to that. And I think that's one of the most hurtful ones, because it's like, not only did you disappear from my child's life, you have other children and you're being an amazing dad to them. It's different if they just disappear and you don't see them. They don't have any other children. You don't get to see, other things that they're doing. But, it's hard. It's hard. I have one more story to share. I like this one a lot when I read it. I really did. She said, I waited. I did everything right. I focused on my career, got myself stable, made sure I had something to offer before bringing a child into the world. I didn't rush into motherhood. I was intentional. I thought I picked someone who was ready, someone who said all the right things, who promised to show up for our baby. Now, I'm going to stop right there in the middle of the story, because as I said, this person can check off every single box. They can be everything that you want them to be and say all the right things to you and still choose to walk away. Okay. She said, and yet when the time came, he disappeared. No explanation, no goodbye, just gone. I gave birth alone. I came home alone. Figured out feeding, sleepless nights, doctor's appointments, all of it alone. And the resentment, it creeps in some days like a heavy fog. I resent that I waited and still ended up doing it solo. I resent that he's out there living his life freely while mine changed forever. I love my child with my whole heart, but sometimes I wonder what it would have been like to be mothered, to be supported, to be partnered in this. And that makes me feel guilty. But it's the truth. I don't regret my baby. I just resent the way it happened. Now, I really love this listener story. So thank you to all the ladies who shared today. I love this last listener story because she said, I don't regret my baby. I just resent the way it happened. And I think a lot of moms can feel that way, whether you're in a relationship with your children's father or not. Sometimes you do have that resentment. You do. And if you are doing it alone, you will look at the baby and have like resentment. And it's not that you don't love your child at all. It's just, why was I dealt this card? Why was this dealt to me? You know? And when she said, my life has changed forever, and he's just living his, I know a lot of moms felt that. I know you felt that because that's a reality. Again, even if you're in a relationship with your children's father, yeah, their life changes because now they have a baby, but yours is forever altered. And they just get to go on about their business like nothing ever happened. And that definitely can build that resentment. But here's something I want you to know. And I mean this from the deepest place in my heart. You are not weak. And you are not raising your child alone. You're raising them with every ounce of strength, love, and consistency you pour in daily. Now, you can't fix it all. The situation isn't easily fixed. But there are ways to get through it. There are ways to feel a little bit better about the situation that you are in. So, first, release that fantasy. Release the fantasy that you may have of them finally being who your child needs them to be. Because that hope that you're holding on to can quietly break you. So stop holding your breath. Set boundaries if they pop in and out. Right? If your child is old enough, you don't need to cover for their parent anymore. Honesty with compassion can free both of you. Can free both of you. You don't have to make excuses for your co-parent to your child. Be honest. And I'm not talking about, oh yeah, your dad just didn't show up this week. No. Just say, I'm not sure what's going on with your dad. I will try to have a conversation with him to figure out why he didn't show up this week. But, I'm sorry that he let you down. Something like that. Take care of your mental health. I'm very, very big on mental health. So go to therapy. Journal. Cry in the shower if that's all you have time for. But allow yourself to release what you are feeling. Give yourself credit. Give yourself credit. Because being a single mom it's a job. Yes, it is. You're not just surviving. You're building a life every single day. And there's no right way to do this. There's only your way. And whatever it looks like, it's valid. It's valid. So, take a breath. Take a breath. And I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. What would it feel like to release the guilt you've been carrying? Where can you ask for help, even if it's small? And the last question, and this one I really want you to think about. What do you need right now? Not as a mom, but as a human being. What do you need? The absence of your child's other parent does not define your worth. Your consistency, your love, your presence, that's the legacy. You're not doing this the easy way. You're doing it the real way, the hard way, the healing way. And if no one else says it to you today, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Keep going. Keep loving. And please, please, don't forget to take care of you too. Until next time, this is For Moms, a safe space. I'm Simone, and I'm holding space for you always.